This weekend, News 8's Tim Spears reported some new developments in the sexual misconduct case tied to Mayor Joe Hogsett's former top aide, Thomas Cook. The woman at the center of those allegations is now accusing Mayor Joe Hogsett of questionable behavior that she claims was not included in the council's recent investigative report. We are also following new reporting from our news gathering partners over in Mirror Indy. That reporting is raising questions about what the mayor has said publicly regarding Cook's role in his reelection campaign 2 years ago. Well, joining us now is Peter Blanchard. He is a local government reporter with Mirror Indy and the author of that story. Peter, good morning to you and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
This is a big story that we've got here, and it's one that just seems to continue to develop here. Let's talk about your reporting and how that states that 6 people are sources that told you that Hogsett wasn't necessarily truthful about the involvement of his former top aide.
Yeah, so first I'd like to go back to a press conference last September when the mayor first publicly addressed the reporting that was included in Indy Star and Mirror Indy about the accusations against Thomas Cook. What the mayor said at the time was that Thomas Cook was a volunteer serving in an advisory capacity. We fast forward to a few weeks ago after the investigative report was released. After that report was released, we have a city county councilor, Andy Nielsen, coming out asking for the mayor's resignation. And then in a recent interview, talking to Russ McQuaid at Fox 59, the mayor was asked about Thomas Cook's role in the campaign, and what he said was that Thomas Cook was, quote, not in contact with anyone directly involved in the campaign. And so I heard that, and that sort of caught my ear, and I immediately started reaching out to sources, and I started hearing that actually Thomas Cook was intimately involved with the mayor's 2023 campaign. He sought endorsements from local organizations. He thanked volunteers for their efforts. He would debrief with the mayor and then coordinate with the communications director of the campaign. So, you know, to sort of say that Thomas Cook was just a volunteer who was occasionally giving advice, I think sort of downplays his role in the campaign.
Now, that's just one nugget in this. You're also mentioning an email in your article, and that email details a bit of that involvement of Thomas Cook and how a lot of that was held back in that situation.
Yeah, so, you know, in addition to the people I was in contact with, sources who, you know, feared going on the record because, you know, they feared, you know, sort of professional repercussions could come from speaking out, right? But in addition to talking with those folks, I also got a copy of an email thread that includes, you know, the mayor's 2023 communications director for that campaign, as well as Chief of Staff Dan Parker. You have Thomas Cook CC'd on this email, and he's, you know, he's telling volunteers in this email, basically saying that he just debriefed with the mayor. He thanked a local volunteer for doing some phone banking, and then he told volunteers to reach out to either the campaign manager, Blake Hash, or the comms manager, Hannah Thomas, if they wanted to volunteer. So, you know, I think to say that he was only an informal advisor, you know, these facts that we got sort of fly in the face of that.
Okay, now we've got to get to this before we go to the next topic here. Let's talk about the attorneys representing the 2 women. The claims there are that crucial evidence was left out of that review that happened in this investigation. What were you told about that? Yeah,
so I will say, you know, the Indy Star published an article maybe a week after the investigative report, you know, detailing what these women said were omissions in the investigative report from Fisher Phillips. You know, the women said that they submitted text messages that the mayor had sent to them that they said made them feel uncomfortable. You know, one of the women, Caroline Ellert, says that she described experiencing sexual assault at the hands of Thomas Cook, and that was also not included in the investigative report. And so in the wake of that, I'm hearing that Democratic counselors are meeting privately, discussing how to move forward. I'm even hearing that there's some hesitancy to, you know, pay this law firm what they are owed because they feel like they didn't get what they paid for.
Well, we most certainly are going to see more of this play out. There's a meeting set for tonight And there's a possibility that all of this could come up when people are given the chance to speak. So we will continue to follow your reporting, Peter. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeremy.